In the heart of Little Italy, New York, 1932, the air crackles with anticipation. Inside the rustic yet elegant San Giovanni Club, men in tailored suits whisper amongst themselves, their eyes darting towards the door. Tonight is no ordinary night. Tonight, destinies are forged and broken under the ancient code of the Mafia. Salvatore Sal Moretti, a young man with ambition burning in his eyes, watches the assembled mafiosi with a mixture of awe and trepidation. His father, the formidable Don Alessandro Moretti, stands tall among them, his face etched with the stories of a life well lived and fiercely protected secrets. Sal's world has always revolved around the family, its traditions, and its code, but tonight, he is about to step into a world that will test his loyalty, courage, and the very definition of family. As the men settle down, an eerie silence falls over the room. Suddenly, the heavy wooden door swings open, and two men enter. The newcomers are led by a figure who exudes danger and power. It is Don Vittorio Corleone, the head of the Corleone family, one of the 5 great mafia clans that control New York's underworld. His presence commands respect and fear in equal measure. The Dons gather around a large table in the center of the room, forming a circle like the members of an exclusive secret society. They exchange greetings, their voices low and respectful. Sal observes this intricate dance of power and hierarchy, realizing he is witnessing a ritual as old as the Mafia itself. A platter of food is placed on the table, and a priest stands up, offering a prayer that blends religious piety with a request for divine favor in worldly matters. The men partake of the meal, the clinking of silverware echoing in the hushed room. And during the meal, alliances are discussed, deals are struck, and threats are made. Sal watches intently, trying to absorb the complexities of the Mafia's inner workings. But it is, when dessert arrives, a symbol of sweetness and indulgence, that the atmosphere takes a sinister turn. After the sweet dishes are cleared away, the men begin the most critical part of the evening, the blood oath. The men stand up, their faces illuminated by the flickering candlelight. Don Corleone steps forward, holding a small knife. The other Dons follow suit, each with a knife or a dagger in hand. The room grows silent as Don Corleone, the eldest and most respected of the Dons, addresses the gathering. His voice echoes with authority. He speaks of honor, loyalty, and the sacred bond that unites them as members of the command. According to tradition, each man must spill a few drops of his blood as an offering to the gods of the Mafia, a testament to his commitment to the organization. I pledge to uphold the code of the Mafia until death parts them. One by one, the Dons and the members fulfill the obligation, pricking their fingers and letting blood ooze onto a white cloth laid out before them. When it's Salvatore's turn, his hand shakes slightly as he brings the blade to his finger. His gaze meets his father's, seeking understanding and strength. Don Moretti, with a look of pride and grim acceptance, squeezes Sal's shoulder, silently conveying his trust and love. Sal closes his eyes, pricking his finger and letting a single drop of blood fall onto the cloth, binding him to the shadowy world of the Mafia forever. His father, Don Moretti, regarded by many as the most cunning and feared Don in the city, leans closer to him, his voice a low growl. "This is our life now," he says, his eyes gleaming with a fierce light. "There is no going back. You have made your choice." Sal swallows hard, the weight of his decision settling heavily on his chest. He understands that there's no turning back. He is in too deep. His father continues, his voice softening slightly. "You are my son, and I will teach you everything I know. But remember, in this world, trust is a luxury we cannot afford. Everyone has a price. Your mother and sister are under my protection, so do not make the mistake of thinking you can protect them yourself. If anyone threatens them, you must let me handle it. Do you understand?" Sal nods slowly, his eyes unwavering. He knows his father speaks, not just as a Mafia Don, but as a loving father fiercely protective of his family. As the night deepens, the men continue their revelry, drinking, smoking and making deals in hushed tones. But Sal finds himself drawn to the window, staring out at the dark city. His reflection stares back at him, a young man caught between two worlds. He sees the determination in his own eyes, the fire of ambition burning brightly, but he also sees the shadow of fear lurking beneath. He turns from the window as footsteps approach him. His father stands before him, his face gray. "Come with me," his father says, his voice low and urgent. Sal follows his father through the maze-like streets of Little Italy. They stop in front of a building that looks unassuming from the street, but Sal knows better than to judge things by appearances. Don Moretti opens the door and ushers Sal inside. The basement is dimly lit by a single bare bulb hanging from the ceiling. In the center of the room, a man sits bound to a chair, his face bruised and bloodied. As they enter, Sal sees the man's terrified expression. His father turns to him, his voice a soft but firm command. "Take care of this!" Before Sal can respond, his father leaves, stepping back into the shadows from which he came. Sal is left alone in the basement with the injured man. He struggles with his conscience, torn between his upbringing and the harsh realities of the Mafia. He knows that if he does what his father asked, there is no turning back. There is no escape from the life that awaits him. Sal carefully approaches the man, trying to assess the situation. He loosens the ropes binding the man's hands behind his back, wincing at the sight of the raw, bleeding wrists. Gently, he asks the man questions, trying to piece together the events that led them both to this dark basement. The man, sensing Sal's humanity, breaks down, sharing his story of betrayal and misfortune that landed him in this dire situation. As the man speaks, Sal realizes that he is not just dealing with a hardened criminal, but with another human being who has made mistakes and is now paying the price. This realization stirs conflicting emotions within Sal, a mix of sympathy, anger, and a growing unease about the path he has chosen. Sal helps the man to his feet, leading him out of the basement and back to the safety of the San Giovanni Club. As they walk, Sal thinks about his conversation with the man. He knows that the Mafia is a world of violence and deception, but hearing a first-hand account of the brutality and betrayal that goes on has shaken him. He leads the man into a small room, offering him water and a place to rest while he tends to his wounds. As the man recovers, Sal reflects on his journey so far. He recognizes that the Mafia's grip on his life is tightening, and that his actions today will have consequences tomorrow. Suddenly, a loud bang from the other side of the door jolts him from his thoughts. He quickly hides the man under a table, hoping whoever is out there doesn't hear the muffled sounds of movement. Sal creeps closer to the door, listening intently. Voices drift through the cracks, speaking in hushed but urgent tones. He moves cautiously around the room, keeping low to avoid being seen. He glances back at the man hiding under the table, his eyes filled with concern. The man, understanding the gravity of the situation, motions for Sal to leave, urging him to prioritize his own safety. With a final nod, Sal slips out of the room, leaving the man to fend for himself. Now alone, Sal makes his way through the darkened house, moving like a shadow, careful not to be seen. He knows that whatever's happening out there in the darkness, his own life is in danger. As the first rays of sunlight peek through the gaps in the curtains, Sal finds himself in the kitchen, sharing a stolen moment of quiet with a young woman named Isabella. She is the daughter of one of his father's trusted associates. Their shared glances speak volume, hinting at the feelings that flicker between them despite the dangerous world that surrounds them. Their moment is shattered by the sudden commotion from the other rooms. Men move about, their voices echoing in the tense silence. Sal senses the shift in atmosphere and prepares himself for whatever challenges the day may bring. He finds his father standing by the window, his silhouette framed against the rising sun. Don Moretti turns, his face etched with seriousness, and hands Sal a gun. "For your protection," he says, his voice gruff but laced with care. Sal hesitates, his fingers brushing against the cold metal. He knows this is only the beginning of his initiation into the brutal reality of the Mafia. As the morning progresses, Sal learns that his father's associate, along with his daughter Isabella, was found dead in their home. A brutal message left behind by a rival family. This tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the merciless nature of the mafia world they inhabit. Determined to honor his family's legacy, Sal accompanies his father to meet with the heads of the other four families. The meeting is fraught with tension as they discuss the recent events and strategize their response. During the tense negotiations, Sal observes the dynamics between his father and the other Dons. He witnesses moments of camaraderie mixed with underlying hostility, realizing that even among enemies, there are bonds of brotherhood forged in their shared criminal enterprise. As the meeting concludes, Sal accompanies his father back to the San Giovanni Club. Along the way, they discuss the events that unfolded during the summit, and Sal begins to understand the intricacies of the power struggles that shaped the mafia. Once back at the club, Don Moretti turns to Sal, his face grave. "It is time you took your place among us," he says, handing his son a black suit. "Put this on." Sal, now fully initiated into the mafia, stands before the mirror, adjusting his black suit and tie. He looks at his reflection, seeing not just a young man, but a member of one of New York's most powerful crime families. As he descends the stairs, the Dons gather in the dimly lit room, their faces serious. Sal stands among them, united in their shared purpose and bound by the secrets that connect them. Stepping into the bustling casino, Sal is greeted by the intoxicating sights and sounds of the night. Men in sharp suits and women adorned in glamorous dresses move through the crowd, their laughter echoing above the clink of glasses and the hum of conversation. Amidst the vibrant energy, Sal spots Isabella, her eyes sparkling as she talks with a group of friends. Their eyes meet, and she smiles, acknowledging him with a subtle nod. Sal feels a surge of affection for her, knowing that their paths may be intertwined in ways they cannot yet foresee. As the night deepens, Sal engages in friendly banter with some of his father's associates. He listens attentively, absorbing the details of ongoing operations and the latest news from the Underworld. Later, as the crowd thins and the lights dim, Sal finds himself drawn to the poker table. He sits down, exchanging pleasantries with the other players, all men he has seen around town or heard of in hushed whispers. The game commences and Sal finds himself immersed in the strategic world of cards and bluffs. With each hand, he tests his luck, his focus unwavering as he navigates the intricacies of the game. As dawn breaks, signaling the end of another night in the city, Sal returns to his father's side. They stand together surveying the sleeping city, their silhouettes outlined against the horizon. Don Moretti places a hand on Sal's shoulder, his voice heavy with the weight of their shared existence. "Remember, Sal, this is our life now," he says, his eyes reflecting the city's neon lights. There is no going back. Sal, gazing out at the city, knows his father is right. He is bound to the mafia by blood, loyalty, and the solemn oath he swore to uphold. As the sun rises higher in the sky, bathing the city in golden light, Sal prepares for another day in the unforgiving world of organized crime. He is determined to navigate the treacherous waters of the mafia, all while trying to hold on to his humanity and protect those he loves.